this big kind of next phase of the web for me, I'm convinced, is about private communities like this sharing practice, yeah, sharing their stats, sharing their ups and downs, and also bringing in kind of case studies, local ones, not from Ohio or California. Bring in a Leicester business that is absolutely carving it up online, and let's take it apart and try and figure out why it's doing that, how it's managing to do that. One thing I've noticed from being involved with a lot of online businesses is, unlike the real world, the physical world, where you can kind of get by, there's lots of businesses get by, they're doing okay, there's a few falling away, we haven't had many fail and go out of business, they somehow get by, and there's a few kind of doing extremely well. Online, you either get it just right or you miss by a mile. We don't have any businesses in the middle kind of doing okay. They're kind of absolutely doing fantastically well or really kind of missing it. So I think it's more discerning online. What we've got to do is figure out what are those points which make the difference between a business kind of doing nothing or doing extremely well online. So this is all kind of brand new to Leicester. I kind of appreciate this. But what we've done from the start in Nottingham is we said, let's be really open and honest and transparent with each other. And it is actually really cool in Nottingham when we do events where you get 3 or 4 or 5 web designers or graphic designers who are all actually competitors, in competition, direct competition with each other, actually talking and being honest about what it is that's making them sort of succeed or fail. And that's what we hope to kind of build down here, really, is something on the same kind of vibe, really. Have a guess which one of these members of this pilot is in a band? Go on, have a guess. Yeah, these are some of our kind of customers who took part in this pilot project. We held 22 events, and we got up to kind of fairly decent numbers. I didn't think they were that good, but I looked at kind of some of the other networks, and actually we were doing some really good numbers. You recognise this lady here? She hates this picture. This is daughter, yeah, who was at the time on one of the courses and taking part in what was called Axis Community. Imagine the forerunner to this. And what daughter did, which was really cool because most people don't do this, she came on the events and then came on this little course, but mainly on the events, and just kept putting in place the changes and kept coming back in and going, we're up 30%, we're up 30%, conversions are up 50%, and just kept coming in, and it was very matter of fact. And I thought, this is a really big deal, but I better not show it. And I went, yeah, just keep going. And you achieved some fantastic growth in this business. So I'm going to hand it across in a couple of minutes to daughter, and we're going to try and pick apart for you to make sure tonight you get some practical stuff about how she managed to turn this travel business around. And it was already doing pretty well online, but made quite a radical difference. And the good news is the tweaks were quite simple. Yeah? It's not complicated stuff that this necessarily is, really. Okay. This is what we hope to create then. This is some kind of views of what we got going on in Nottingham. It's quite social, it's quite informal. You're in again, look.
Yeah, I know.
What a lovely couple. There we go, look at that. I don't think you're married then. Yeah, we try and create something that is informal and fun, but it's practical as well. I like this idea of our association with De Montfort. We've got some elements of a kind of a higher level academic view about this. We've also got a lot of experience in the commercial application of the web through the team, and we've got this practical stuff as well. So somewhere between that of a Venn diagram, we're kind of right in the middle with this project. We're going to be able to kind of share with each other. That's where it really sort of transparency, which we hope is really exciting about this kind of project. It's not really the kind of concepts necessarily we're going to go through, and people like Daughter are going to go through. It's picking apart these businesses and figuring out how this has worked, how it's not. I had an email a couple of months ago from one of our guys who's been involved with this, who said, we've managed to save £100,000 off our marketing budget by going for online marketing instead of the traditional channels. I think we owe you a pint. I have to say I haven't had it yet. But how about that? You know, this is kind of practical stuff. This is a Nottingham-based business, totally web-centric. It's their entire channels are selling online. We had a guy join this community last night who sells online perfume online, duty-free perfume, sells it online. Currently selling, shipping 150 orders, and they don't think that's much. They're like, we want to be shipping 500 orders, we want to be shipping 1,000 orders a day. And they're just based out of Nottingham, tiny small business, doing 150 a day, and they think that's absolutely nothing, you know. So there's some kind of really kind of serious numbers out there, really. Okay, very, very quickly, as to do with the pilot, we asked the guys who were involved in the pilot, rather than us try and define what this next phase should be, you tell us what you think it is. You tell us what you think you've been involved with. And these are the sort of things, you're not going to be able to see it from there, but I'll shout a few things out. So these are your kind of people, very similar positions. This thing's about making the right decision. It helps you understand what is happening to your markets, your customers, your competition online. It's about identifying new markets. It's about getting your processes, maybe even your core values that underpin the way that you engage with your customers ready. And we nicked the web has changed. This is about being part of its future. That's a lovely one. I'll pass that off as my work probably soon, really. So hopefully give you just a bit of a sense of what this is about. Okay, you might not see this too well, but we've got Premier Inn, Travelodge, Jarvis, some of the biggest hotel chains in the world. What might these people have in common? Other than they hate each other. You cannot find a more cutthroat industry. Any ideas?
We've all got a website that does exactly the same thing.
Yes, yeah, I'll give you that. They all share the data. Now this is a bit of an interesting one. It's the most contentious part of what we're about to do, and it's one of the reasons why I've kind of stopped it around at Axis. To be involved in this, which is really cool, very entertaining thing to be involved with. But actually, this is potentially one of the coolest parts of this, because as being part of eChampions, we are going to suggest that you should share in the community some of your performance data. Now, we're going to look at how we give you some anonymity in that, but just to give you a kind of picture of how this works, really, is I can give you another presentation. I'll put it online to sort of explain this, really. But all these groups, although they hate each other, they know that there is a benefit, a net benefit to them by giving away a little bit, but understanding the bigger picture of where they sit in the market. So right now in Leicester, there will be there's a website where all of these guys share their data, and there they can benchmark against each other. So they measure things like their rack rate, which is their sort of the top price that they should charge for a room. They measure how much they have to discount a particular room. They measure their average occupancy rate, and they measure their weekends versus the weekdays, and the business traffic versus, you know, the kind of event traffic, all that kind of thing. Now, all of them are sharing the data. There's only Malmaison, for instance, in Newcastle, there's only Malmaison who don't share bottom line data and actual margin data. And what I'm getting at here, I'm not suggesting you all kind of share your margins with each other, but if an industry like as competitive as this understands the need to share some kind of metrics about how their website, how their business is working, I think that we should kind of have a go at doing it ourselves. And actually this is probably amongst the first in the UK to do this in effect. So we're going to be exploring that, and the full eChampions, we're going to be suggesting that you measure some stuff. Did I leave it in or take it out? Yeah, okay, some of this kind of stuff. So unique visitors to your website. Sorry if this is sounding a bit kind of geeky and techie at this point, but returning visitors to your website, your bounce back. Anybody know what bounce back is? Explain to us what bounce back is.
People leave your first page.
They leg it straight away, yeah. So they're gone within sort of 5 seconds before the website even kind of properly builds. How many people leave? That's called bounce back rate. What would be a good or a bad number for bounce back rate in terms of percentage? Do you know what yours is at the moment?
About 33%.
33%? Is that good or bad?
It's okay, it's not bad.
Yeah.
I think I've only just started doing it.
How do you know that's good or bad?
Because, you know, you told us.
The point is, it's an abstract figure until you compare it against a whole series of other people. And that's what these people in the hotel industry, they go look, we're averaging with the highest occupancy rate. We've got someone involved in this at the Nottingham end who's got a chain of boutique hotels. And she can go straight online and she can go, look, we're second for occupancy in Newcastle, we're fifth for occupancy in Cheltenham, we're going upwards, we're going downwards. You can see how they can compare themselves against other people. And once you can compare your abstract figures, your 33%, and go, is it good, is it bad? Well, I've got a customer with a bounce back rate of 9%. So their website is 3 times as efficient as yours, and then a little bit. So rather than leaving it at 33%, we find out what the 9% has done and we implement it. Make sense?